Okay, so why I've chosen this spot here? Because these are beautiful, beautiful tiles. No, they're just not um, tiles. They come from the Muslim tradition. So I mentioned earlier that the Arab domination here in the Iberian Peninsula lasted for almost 500 years. It's really long. What they did, actually, when the Arab came here, they didn't really want to destroy the traditions and the habits of the locals, because they were quite smart. They just thought probably we can just let them live as they want. Of course, if they want to convert, it's better, but if they don't want, they can just be really useful, productive, and pay taxes to us, right? So some of the locals could just keep following their habits and religion. These are called azulejos. They are polished tiles, and they are not just beautiful, but they are also useful, because they isolate the buildings to keep the temperature at a constant, pleasant level inside the buildings. What happened when the Reconquista started? The kings wanted to erase all the traces of the Arab, and they started to destroy everything. So they destroyed in Lisbon all these azulejos. One day, the king went to Sevilla, and he noticed that even if the Reconquista was finished, the Arab weren't there anymore. They kept the azulejos as they were, built by the Arabs. And the king went like, you know what? I really love them. I want them back to Lisbon. And they started to use the azulejos again. The only difference is that in the Muslim religion tradition, they cannot represent human beings, okay? So human bodies, faces, etc. And this was the actual difference with the Catholic Christian azulejos. They wanted them to represent daily events, but more events related to the Bible. That's why, well, these are just basically embellishments, but you will find a lot of big pictures made with azulejos representing religious scenes. Why I've chosen this spot as well? Because this is the oldest bookshop of Europe. Okay, it's active from the 18th century, and from when it started, it never stopped. Okay, and also talking about books. J.K. Rowling, I'm sure everyone is aware of it. She is the author of Harry Potter. She spent so much time in Portugal, in Porto, in Coimbra, in Lisbon, that she got so inspired by the history and the traditions here that everything in Harry Potter's is Portuguese, basically. The uniform of the guys in Hogwarts, it's basically the uniform used in Coimbra, the oldest university of the country and one of the most important in Europe. Salazar is also an evil character in Harry Potter's, and it's the dictator of Portugal, and many more relations. Also, I'm sure you don't know about this. There's also another author who got inspired by a Portuguese spy who first worked for the German and then for the British. This guy was Garbo, he was a spy, and it was the inspiration of James Bond. Saying this, we're gonna move to our next stop.